13-year-old boy forced to drop out of school. He saved a whole poor village with a bicycle. All the villagers were grateful to him. It's a true story. It happened in a poor village in Africa. The people in this village live off the land. It rarely rains, so they can only grow one crop a year. During the dry season, the harvest is even more scarce. Many frail people die during this time. The boy, William, was a very clever boy. He likes to fix things, especially electrical appliances. People in the village come to him when their radios are broken. It's a good income for William. His father is a farmer and his mother and sister are beautiful. He also has a younger brother who is less than a year old. The family was poor but very happy. When William went to school, he worked hard and got good grades, and the young teacher liked him. One day after school, a lot of people gathered at the village hall. William went to see what was going on. He learned that a tobacco company wanted to buy the woods at a low price, and that they wanted to use the wood for roasting. The rainy season was late this year, and there was a good chance of flooding, and the forest at the entrance to the village is to withstand the floods. Children like William understand that, but there are still people who sign the contract and choose to sell their forests for profit. The rains came soon, and William's school fees were due, but this time his father can't give him the money. He has to wait until he's sure the crops are okay. William is still repairing the radio. He wants to earn some money to pay his tuition. One rainy night, William found out that his teacher was in love with his sister. He gets angry and tries to break his teacher's bike to get back at him. Suddenly he realizes that if he turns the bike, the lights will come on. He was so curious that he didn't break the teacher's bike. It's raining heavily in the village. Floods have broken out. The rain washed away a lot of freshly planted crops. The principal called a halt to classes, but William loved going to school. He sneaks into the school library to read a book and runs into his teacher. He asks the teacher how the lights on his bicycle work. The teacher, who is in love with William's sister, explains to him how an engine works. He also helped William to get a chance to study in the library. William came to read when he had time. After a while, the seedlings grew, but the weather was dry again. Even if people use their hands to lift the seedlings, they will still fall. The family's mood was very low. Soon it was time for the fall harvest, and there were only 5 bags of grain in the harvest. The whole family needs to eat this food for 2 months. Mom decided that from now on the whole family would eat only 1 meal a day, and she hoped to hold out until the relief food was distributed. But soon there were problems with the relief food. The government doesn't recognize that there's a famine, and this year they've raised the price of food 8. William's father went to the city with a village to protest. When his mother hears that another truck with food has come into the village, she asks William to ride in his father's bicycle to buy it. As soon as William leaves, the family's food is ransacked by others. The family is in dire straits. William's situation is not doing well either. There is a long line of grain sellers, but the trucks they wait for have no grain. Finally, William sneaks into the granary and buys half a bag of corn. The family gathers around the half bag of corn. Not knowing what tomorrow will bring, he wanted to make a pump out of a generator, so he could pump water out of the ground. With water, they could grow 2 crops a year, which would greatly alleviate the famine. He kept it in the back of his mind, afraid to try it, but now there was no turning back. He told his sister about his idea. He needed to borrow the generator from his teacher's bicycle. She thought about it all night and left a letter and the generator. There was a missing piece of paper at the end of the letter, and her departure relieved the burden on the family. She promised to marry the teacher, and the generator was a token of her love. Next, William and his partner started working on a water pump. They found usable materials in the garbage discarded from the tobacco factory. Working together, they quickly build a small windmill, and the radio lights up, meaning their experiment is a success. They continue to search for materials and need to make a bigger windmill, and they must have another generator. He thought of his father's bicycle. He showed his work to his father and told him what he was thinking. Dad was happy that he could generate electricity for the radio, but he doesn't agree that William wants to take his bike apart because it's the most valuable thing in the house. A few of his buddies talked about it and were ready to snatch it. They stood in front of William's house, looking confident, but in reality, they were all cowards. The father's roar scared them all away. Over the next few days, the village chief and the family dog passed away. The mother persuaded the father that he could no longer wait to die. He should let William try. Finally, he agreed. With the help of tools and adults, the work went smoothly. Soon the windmill was up and William was the hope of the village. He hooked up the wires. The windmill slowly turned, and water came out of the other end of the hose. William has done it. The movie ends here, but William's story continues. The school gave William a scholarship, and he took the money and went to a better school. Then he went to college. His sister and his teacher lived happily ever after and had a family of 5. Difficult circumstances can stimulate human potential. People who grow up in difficult situations must believe that a better life will come soon. This is the end of the movie sharing. See you next time.